I'm live. Hooray. Well, hi everybody who isn't anybody yet. This is another chapter in me reorganizing my bookshelves with my book plates. Here they are. These ones. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to sit here and put some book plates in some books and chat with you guys. I have about 30 pre-made because I'm very lazy and I can never, I'm just really lazy. I've got so many that I need to make and I'm just like making as few as possible at a time. So I've got 30 to go through and I'm just gonna keep going through these shelves behind me and chat to you guys while I do it. Just trying to figure out what shelf we should actually start with. Some of these shelves have been done, and one of these shelves isn't even mine. Can't remember if I told you that. Words. I can't remember if I told you guys that last time, but like the white shelves on either side are mine, and this brown one in the middle is not mine. So I'm only working on the bookshelves, the ones that are bookshelving the bookshelf in between the bookshelves. And I've already done some of them. To be fair, I haven't actually done a lot of books on my shelf yet. This is a really long and tedious process, but I think we might start with up here in the corner. These. These ones. Wow. Reverse pointing is hard. This little collection, which is actually the newest addition to my book collection. What are you chewing on? Crunch, crunch. Let's start with these ones. So these are my newest addition to the collection. So I guess this is almost like a book haul as well. These are all my Jane Austen books that I bought last month for Jane Austen July because they were pretty. Because life is meaningless and why hoard money when you can just keep spending it on random things? And because I like Jane Austen. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to add notes to these ones for now. And yeah, that's it. For some reason in my head this morning while I've been getting ready, it's just that like meme song from TikTok. That's TikTok that goes like, I've got 3 looks and that's it. I got a homeless girl, a something, and a hooker, and I can't remember what the middle part is, but that's just been stuck in my head all morning while I've been getting ready to do this with you guys now, is just singing about that. Hello to my one viewer so far. I don't know who you are, but I love you nonetheless. I'm assuming I can see the live comments on this. There's no reason why I shouldn't. Shouldn't be able to see it. So, I guess we're going to start off with Persuasion. It's the top one on the pile. So, when did I buy these? Like last month, and I've already forgotten. Should I just pick a random month in July? It really doesn't matter the exact date unless it's like a special occasion, holiday, Christmas, something like that. But I'll probably be able to find it anyway because I bought them online, so it'll be in my purchase history. I feel like a detective sometimes trying to figure this stuff out. It's not really the point of the exercise, but what have we got? I've bought a lot of stuff. I've bought a lot of stuff recently. I really need to settle down on the online shopping. Oh, I can't find it. I think I've actually deleted it. Who knew? Who knew? If I search for it, there we go, this one. My order has been processed. There it is. Bought it literally on the 2nd of July. Good evening. We have friends. Hello. N332, whose name I don't actually know. How are you today or tonight? Whatever time it is where you are. It's clearly not evening where I am. It is bright and early in the morning, and this is the first thing I'm doing for the day. I don't like this pen. I'm going to change pens. I, for the sake of catching everyone up, am going through my book plates and my books again, and just hoping to chat to people while I do it. And I'm also just spontaneously changing what pen I'm using for it because I didn't like my previous pen. So currently we're looking at Persuasion. So this one gets a bit weird. I don't really know how to do this kind of stuff because like I only bought this book last month, but I have read it long before I bought it. And I think like as a combo, I'm probably going to have to write both of that onto this thing. Just got home from work. Good morning. Good way to start off the day by organizing the bookshelves. Yes, that's the plan. I'm in lockdown here in Melbourne again for like, I'm pretty sure it's the 6th time. Everyone's talking about it as lockdown 6.0. So 6th lockdown, we're not allowed to leave the house. I can't go anywhere and do anything else. So I've scheduled this live stream for first thing in the morning so that I have a reason to get out of bed in the morning. And here we are. I'm just going to get going until I get bored. But back to Persuasion. This is the one problem. This is the reason why I think I'll be lucky to get through 10 book plates during this live stream, is that I just get distracted talking and I don't actually write anything down, but that's okay. It's all fine. Persuasion. What did I do with Persuasion? Well, I bought it for Jane Austen July. That much I can write down. And beyond that, I read it for the Keep It Classic book club last year, I think. Was it last year? Maybe a couple of years ago, actually. If Julia was here, I'd be able to ask her and get her to remind me when we read it. I do know that it was for the Classics Book Club. I don't think it was last year. I think it was a while ago. But I'm pretty sure it must have been in February because we usually end up reading Jane Austen during during Valentine's month. I've heard that lockdown is notorious for lockdown. Melbourne is lockdown, notorious for lockdowns. Yes. Very true. The fun thing about this lockdown is that the cases haven't even been that high. We're just very worried about the Delta variant, which is very nearby us, I guess. Well, it's come into Victoria as well, and it's obviously much more contagious and much harder to keep a control on. So we've gone into lockdown after, I think, only having 6 cases, just as an attempt at trying to keep that number down. But yes, Persuasion was a good one. I enjoyed it. I think, yeah, most people agree that it's one of her more mature stories. It's certainly one of her more mature, main characters in the ripe old age of 27 compared to everyone else being in their late teens to early 20s. Honestly, I think I'd like to read it again, even though I read it not that long ago. I always feel this with Jane Austen. I never feel like I get enough out of it when I read them. So I always, no matter how many times I've read them, I'm like, oh, I really should read that again. I'm pretty sure I've missed something. Like I need to think about it a bit more, which I guess is a sign of a good classic. Anyway, there's not much else to say. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think Persuasion isn't my favorite Jane Austen novel, but I did like it very much anyway. I liked it more than Sense and Sensibility, that's for sure. Yeah, and now I have to figure out when I read it. Yeah, exactly. And same with Persuasion, like Anne Elliot. It is Anne Elliot in this one, isn't it? She's 27 years old and she's talking about how she's resigned herself to being unmarried forever. She's a spinster with no hopes. And I'm 27 years old, so that's real. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we know that it was different times, and that it was a time when being 26 probably did mean that your marriage prospects were pretty slim. But it definitely kind of pulls you out of the immersion in the book when you compare it to your current life, and you're like, well, I hope it's not the case for me. I hope I haven't, foregone love and marriage and relationships forever because I've reached the age of 27. There's another one. So grateful you're doing this live stream. Perfect background sound for writing an English assignment. Yes. I'm so glad to hear it. Good luck with your English assignment. What is it, an essay? Tell me about it. I like hearing about English assignments. And if you hear any background noises, which just happened a little bit, my gorgeous dog Milo is also hanging out here in the lounge room, and he hopefully won't bark or growl too much, but sometimes he gets a bit distracted by people walking past the front yard. Hey Milo, come here. Come here. Good boy. Come say hi. Ready? Can you go up? Come on. Up. Hello. Hello. You're so tall. Anyway, here he is. This is him. Yeah, you got some cheese, didn't you? Hi. Look. Good job. Good boy. So that's Milo. So he's hanging out here as well, and he'll probably be a little bit noisy in the background. He might chew on some toys or something, but he should be pretty chill. I'm just going to do a quick check on my YouTube channel history to see if I can find when we read the book that I was just talking about. Wow, my brain is fried today. The Persuasion. I'm thinking about Persuasion. Oh, I think we streamed it on Instagram. It's like the one thing that we had to stream on Instagram instead. God, we suck. Hey, don't lick my books. That's weird. That's a weird thing to do. Okay, never mind. There's no way I'm going to be able to find it. I think I'll just have to put it in as it is. There we go. There's one. I keep forgetting that this is reversed, but there's one book plate. It says not a lot. And now I'm going to put it in the book, and we'll move on to Emma. And we'll try and speed this up a little bit so that I'm not writing one book plate every 15 minutes. It really shouldn't take me this long. It's kind of funny because this is something that I really want to do. Like, this is a project that I'm excited about. I really want to have all these book plates in my books, but boy, the actual process of doing it is really boring. Oh, that's a good question. I can see 2 comments, so I'll do them both now. What inspired me to make book plates? I mean, I'm a bit of a vintage loving soul. So as soon as I knew that book plates were a thing that people used to have in their books, I knew that I wanted to have them in my books. And then I made my own ones because I wanted to be able to add just some more personal details about the book for me. Like most book plates just say Ex Libris Jasmine, or, like this book belongs to the Library of Jasmine. And what I've done is I've added some just stuff about like how I got the book. So if I got it as a present, I can add the details of who gave it to me and whether it was birthday or Christmas or something like that. And then like a section for me to be able to like say when I read the book and what I thought of it as well, just because I like to have that. I like to remember my personal journey with books. So that's why. And let's move on to the essay. Is essay currently taking a post-colonial literature course? Ooh. I've never even heard of Jamaica Kincaid, but that sounds very interesting. So is this I don't even know if the word is the same, if you guys call it university or college or whatever, but like a not post-grad, like post-high school course of some kind. That sounds really interesting. A Small Place and My Brother, and I'm touching a little bit on Lucy. There we go. I've never heard of any of these books. That's fascinating. Not that I have to have heard of every book in the world, but yeah, that's cool. I also love that the two of you in the comments have heard of it together. It's very cool. Anyway, let me know if you think I should add any of these books to my TBR list, and I will keep an eye out for them. All right, on to Emma. I mean, obviously I bought it at the same date because I bought all of these books together. But I read this book ages ago, possibly for a readathon. Let's find out. That's my book reviews playlist. There it is. I really don't write a lot of book reviews for someone who has a booktube channel. I spend a lot of time doing almost anything else. Huh, it's not here. I could swear I wrote a book review for Emma. Maybe I didn't. That's weird. My brain is struggling. I'm not sure what the Oh God No is about, but I'm sorry to hear it, whatever it is. Ah, okay. Yes, Emma is also, yes, this is a good one. Okay, so I won't be reading any of these books. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And I also agree, Emma's my favorite Jane Austen novel. I think it is really, really well thought out, very, just very clever. And the character development was amazing. And I just think of all of Jane Austen's novels, it feels like the one that had the most thought put into characters and development and themes and things like that. Like it's a very well-crafted book, is what I think about it. So yeah, it's my favorite. I started reading it again this year, or last month, for Jane Austen July. That was my one Jane Austen reread. I didn't get very far because I got distracted by other books, but I read a bit more of it. And I'm just going to keep doing that, I think, just reading a few chapters at a time here and there, just to dive back into the world of Emma and look into it a bit more. But I also can't remember when I read it for the first time. I'm assuming it would have been for Jane Austen July again. Why am I looking on YouTube? I should be looking on Goodreads. God. Come on, Jazz. You're trying to convince yourself that you're smart and then you don't even know where to look to find the books that you've read. Sitting here looking at my YouTube videos instead of Goodreads, which has every book that I've read. Sort by something. I will remove that comment so we don't have to keep looking at Emma. But excuse me. Sure, this part of the live stream is very fun, watching me scroll through my phone trying to remember when I read a book. But hey, we all got to do things in our own way. And apparently this is my way. Okay, Emma, where are you? Really haven't read a lot of books this year. Doesn't take me long to get back to last year. All right, I read Persuasion in 2019. There we go. In March, apparently. Fascinating. We're nearly there. We are nearly there. My phone is just taking a long time to load as well. There it is. I knew it was somewhere around the Dairy Giant. Okay, so I read it in August 2018, apparently. It's a really odd month to choose to read this book. I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes I am bizarre. Does anyone else have particular months or seasons that feel like the right month to read certain genres? Or is that just me? Excuse you? Is that right? Maybe it's March 2018. I think that's what it is. That makes a bit more sense. Don't ask me why it makes more sense, but it does. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Do people? Are you a seasonal reader? Do you have moods for particular genres or types of books, or are you? I don't know. What other kind of readers are there? Just TBR readers, readathon readers, spontaneous readers with no seasonal trends. What am I saying? Anyway, I'm gonna keep writing this book like while I wait and see. Anyway, 5 stars to Emma. Not sure if you can hear the dog crying in the background, but he's decided he needs more attention. Anyway, there we go. It's a bit messy, but it's there. And now we've done 2, and we're continuing our trend of taking nearly 15 minutes to write each one of these booklets. There we go. Oh, clunk. Okay, 2 books done. All right, the next one on my little pile of Jane Austen books is Pride and Prejudice. Definitely seasonal. Yes. Yeah, I'm definitely seasonal as well. I've been thinking about it a bit recently, just kind of like paying attention to what I feel like reading when. Like fantasy books are always an autumn thing. And then like contemporary books are always a summer thing. But then in the middle of that, because I'm in the southern hemisphere, Valentine's month, February, is also kind of autumny, which is a bit of an odd time to feel like reading it. But then I always want to read that like romance books then during February to at least kind of try and celebrate Valentine's month. And then like spooky books during Halloween, which always feels a little bit wrong because Halloween should be autumn, but it's not because we're in the southern hemisphere. I don't have a choice about that. I don't know. I can't even remember what other genres of book there are. I've listed the ones that I read. 2, 7, 21. Once again, it's one that I bought. Can you not cry at me? I don't even know when I read Pride and Prejudice for the first time. Pride and Prejudice is just one of those books that you just know that you've read from, assumedly from high school or something. I'm like, hi. Interestingly, though, I don't think Pride and Prejudice was the first Jane Austen book I read. I think Northanger Abbey was the first one. What's wrong? You're crying at me. What do you want? Do you want to go out in the hallway? You've had breakfast. You've had outside. Hello. You gonna hop up? You come up. Up. Cassie? Oh, good boy. Hello. You're so tall. You're too big for this, aren't you? Yeah, a little bit. You're like, I don't want to be up there. Do you want to go out in the hallway? I'll let you out. Hey? Back. Come on. Out you go. Right. The grumpy dog has been removed from the world in a less sinister way than that sounded. Anyway, I never actually put that one up. Seasonal reading. Anyway, for my review of this one, I think I'm just going to write that I don't remember the first time I read it. I wish I could find the pen that I normally use for this. This pen is really big, so I can't write as much on the paper, which is a bit disappointing. Anyway, Pride and Prejudice can get 4 stars. And I don't know when I read it and stuff, so I'm not going to bother with that part. That's another one done. We sped it up. That was only 5 minutes or something. There's hope for us yet. We might get through this stack of book plates before next year. 3. All right, next up is Sense and Sensibility. I have a vague memory of reading this for what was called Booktubeathon at the time, but is now called The Reading Rush. We'll never really understand why they changed the name, but props to them, I guess. Anyway, bought in July 2021. And I listened to it as an audiobook for Booktubeathon. And I didn't like it. This is one of the ones that I don't like that much. Booktubeathon 2018. Honestly, I think Sense and Sensibility might be my least favorite Jane Austen. That being said, I've never read Mansfield Park, so there's a chance for something to sneak in underneath it, but it just doesn't do it for me. My main problem is that I think that all of the male love interests in Sense and Sensibility are actually quite problematic, and it makes me really uncomfortable to watch them then end up with the main characters. It just doesn't feel right to me. Anyway, read in July apparently. And that gets 2-ish stars. Maybe it would hit different if I read it again and paid more attention, or I don't know. See, there I am again with my, I need to read the Jane Austen books again. I always feel like I haven't read them properly. But bit wonky. There we go. One more. All right, Mansfield Park. This one's going to be a quick one because I haven't read it. 2/7/21. Bought for Jane Austen, July. How many books am I organizing now? That is a good question. I did kind of give a bit of an intro at the start of the live stream, but I don't think anyone was here. So what I'm actually doing is I've got these book plates here that I made myself, and I basically just prepped a stack of them that I'm going to go through and add to books. Basically just going through my shelf. And this brown one in the middle here isn't actually mine, so I'm doing the white ones on either side. Those ones are mine. And I'm just like starting at the top and working my way down. I've done a couple of shelves already. Like this shelf and the one above it are already done. And the top shelves on that side are already done. And now I'm working on, just going down through them. I've got a stack of about 30 to go through at the moment. I'm hoping that I get through more than that, but we'll see. It's slow going, especially when you have to stop and talk about every book while you're doing it. What for Jane Austen July? I haven't read yet. That's it. That one's done. Anyway, I'm going through these ones at the moment because I just bought all of the Jane Austen books as a little collection last month. So I figured I might as well, while they're still here and new to me, just put book plates in them and then I don't have to think about them again. Now we're up to the last one in the pile, which is Northanger Abbey. And this one, oop, thank you for your response. Oh, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to hang out with people and respond and talk to them. 2/7/21. Oops, wrong one. Bought for Jane Austen. July. There's so many. I've written that so many times now. Read in high school. I honestly definitely should read Northanger Abbey again because, like I said, I read this in high school and I honestly only have the vaguest of memories of it, like just very, very vague memories. So I feel like I should read it again now that I am more familiar with Austen and all of that stuff. I will give you 3 stars for now. All I remember is Gothic. I'm just going to write Gothic for now. There we go. Last one in the pile. Yeah, I've got these ones back on the shelf now, but here they all are. Here's my collection of Jane Austens. And now they all have little plates in the front. So that's what I'm doing today. Just that. I'm just going to empty out this entire shelf and then I'll work on them next. This one's going to be fun because now we get to go through some Shakespeare as well. Got it all going on. Right now, I'm just going to have to dump that on top, I think. We'll start with the Shakespeare. So, like with Jane Austen, I also have a little collection of matching Shakespeares that I have been working on. Here they are. Not a lot of them because these editions are really hard to find, apparently. Trying to remember which ones I found first. So I know what happened with these is that I found a couple of Shakespeare editions of these in like a secondhand bookshop. And I loved them so much that I started like scrolling through eBay and things, basically trying to find editions of any other books that I could possibly find to add to the collection. And every time I go to a secondhand bookshop, I usually do a bit of a look to see if I can find any more there as well. I never really found a lot of. I have a feeling that the first 2 that I found were these 2, I think. I think it was The Merry Wives of Windsor and A Midsummer Night's Dream. And then I've bought the other ones online to match together. And I'm still hoping I might be able to find more, but it's really hard because these are definitely out of publication nowadays. And I'm finding it really hard to. I'm not even sure that they published any others. I would hope that they did. Otherwise, it's a very odd selection of Shakespeare plays to choose to publish together. None of the main ones are there, except for Romeo and Juliet, really. But, yeah, I think they're pretty. In fact, let me see if I can show you what they look like inside, because this is the reason why I bought them. So, as an example, here's The Merry Wives of Windsor. And the reason why I ended up buying them is because they have these pretty illustrations in them as well. Not on every page, but just dotted throughout. And then like the, each act has a pretty illustration too. So I really like them. What they don't have is a Shakespeare translation dictionary, so that can make life a bit hard. But yeah. I do like classics. I think my whole identity is centered around classics and fantasy, and sometimes the 2 of them together. But I just like collecting like collections of books that match. It appeals to me. And it's a lot easier to do that with classic books, I think, than certain other genres, is to be able to just get like a collection of matching books. So that's what I've been doing slowly. The shelves on that side are better than the shelves on this side for that. This side is all of my sort of not abandoned, but just like hidden, less pretty books. And that side is the books that I like more because they're all matching. You'll definitely see that because the next shelf that I'm working on after this one is Agatha Christie, which is same thing, more matching editions of Agatha Christie. Anyway, I wonder if I can remember exactly where and I bought this. I don't think I can. So I'm just going to start by saying that I found it in a secondhand bookshop. Hello, darling. That's my ribbon. You can't lick that. No. Stop. Stop. What's up, honey? What's wrong? What? What? Hello. What? I let you out in the hallway. You didn't like it. You don't want to be out there. You want to be in here. You can't just cry if you're going to be in here. That's not fair. It's not fun for me. Hmm? You silly baby. No, there's no more. There's no more. Excuse me. I'm a bit croaky. Hello. Hello. I'm trying to do stuff. I'll hang out with you later. Stop that. I haven't read The Merry Wives of Windsor, so that makes some of this a bit easier. There it is. I was right. Canty's bookshop in Fishwick, which means I bought it when I was in Canberra visiting one of my friends. Which means I can actually figure out the date of that if I think hard enough about it. And I was bang on the money with which books I bought at the bookshop versus which books I didn't. I'm actually really proud of that because that was just a wild guess. Anyway. This one I have read, and I think I also read for the Keep It Classic Bookshop Club. There was a readathon happening that was hosted by Julia from Shakespeare and Such at the same time, which I'm guessing was All the World's a Page. Which means I read it in July, apparently. Last year. One more done. Sorry. I appreciate the company while I do this, and I also totally understand that this probably isn't the most interesting of live streams to be a part of. I'm sure there are far more entertaining live streams to be watching than just me going silent every now and then and writing in books. And these are all the ones that I bought online just to match. And then I don't remember when, Means I also read this somewhere around the July last year. Anyway, As You Like It, I think, is a very underrated Shakespeare play. I had a great time reading this book. In fact, you can probably see that from my Instagram reading history, because I think I made a few posts and videos about how much of a good time I was having while reading it. But it is ridiculously funny, and it is a whole ass mood. And yeah, one of my top Shakespeares, I think. And here's a bunch that I haven't read, so that makes things a little bit easier. Ah. I mean, I have read Romeo and Juliet, obviously, at some point in the past. I think I read it for high school. And I also don't think I've ever read it since then, which is interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know when I read it. Oops. What's everyone been up to this weekend? It is weekend there for you guys as well, isn't it? Oh, this one's different. Hello there. That surprised me. Clearly I haven't opened these ones. These ones all have blue inside covers, and then two of them have this inside, which is a bit uncomfortable because I'm not quite sure where to put the book plate. I don't really want to cover up the pretty illustrations. There's a page on the inside. There we go. We'll just have to go one page further in. So clearly they're not matching editions. They're slightly different. Oh well. That's fine. Which ones are these? Avenel versus Leopard. Okay. You're a completely different edition again. Times are weird. Times are strange. My port. And I haven't read The Tempest. I have watched it though. I think, if I remember correctly, I think I remember watching my cousin perform in an adaptation of The Tempest a few years ago now. I think that's what it was. I'm not entirely sure that it was a full play. It might have been a dance performance of some kind. I'm going to have to check with her, see if I'm imagining that. And then we have sonnets, for which I've read some, but not a lot. Because, I don't know, does anyone actually read poetry collections from start to finish. It's not really how poetry works. At least not how it works for me. I don't know. Anyway, there we go. That's it. That's all of Shakespeare. That's all of the Shakespeare that I own in this particular edition. Anyway, which admittedly isn't a lot. There they are. All dressed up. It might almost be time for me to see if I can find some more matching editions, but I don't know how lucky I'll be. All right. Now we have a completely random selection of books that just happen to be in a color scheme. What we actually have here is 2 children's classics and then 3 books that all happen to be set in Iceland, if I remember correctly. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So all 3 of these books are set in Iceland. I feel like is a strange number of books to have set in Iceland when you kind of don't really have any books set in any other countries. But there you go. But we will start with Alice in Wonderland. So I don't really know what to say about this because I don't remember when I bought it and I've read it a bunch of times. But I will say one of my top books ever. I don't really remember when I read it because I know that I've read it as a kid and I know that I've read it again several times as an adult. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's not a lot to say for this one. 6. I don't really remember when I read it. I mean, when I bought it. I think I bought it from Readings. Maybe like 2016 or something. Doesn't really matter. More important for some books than others. But yeah, these are my little children's classic editions that I've started trying to collect because I think they're really pretty. I think they're all William Morris. Oh, I think they're all William Morris designs. As far as the cover goes, yeah, cover patterns from the V&A's William Morris collection. And so they're like William Morris wallpapers that have been turned into book covers, which I think is really pretty. Okay, The Secret Garden, I know, was a Keep It Classic book, and I don't think I ever finished it. I'm pretty sure it was last year. Was that last year that we tried to read The Secret Garden? Instagram will know if I can actually switch. There it is. 2019, April. So that would have been when I bought it, at least. But I never finished it, and we stopped doing the Keep It Classic book club for a while after that because we're terrible at keeping the book club going. One day. It's usually me that makes it fall apart. And then I can't do anything else because I didn't finish it. There it is. We're powering through them now. That's definitely further proof of my desire to collect matching editions of books, those two. If I was to buy any more children's classics, they would also be in those editions. All right. Okay, this one gets a bit tricky. So no. Oh, it's got a colored photos in it. It's impressive. Huh. I've never even opened this book. Just bought it because I knew I had to. I knew that I should, so it was recommended. It says Iceland as you've never seen it before. Oh, there's more at the back. Wow. Wow. Well, that's cool. Trying to remind myself why I have these books. It's not working. I know I bought those two together. I know I bought them on a beach trip with a friend, but I don't remember where, how, when, where, why I got burial rights. That's okay. We'll start with this. That's it. That's all I can say about these ones because I haven't read them. It's much quicker going through these book plates when I haven't read the books. A lot less to remember. I can go here on the inside cover. I think we tried to go to a literary festival or something, but we missed it, or we just didn't end up going to any of the things. This is a bit disappointing. I'm going to have to cover up some text on this one. There we go. Very pretty. We love pretty books. That one was published by ABC, which fascinates me. And this one, I have no memory. I have no memory of this book. All I know is that I got it secondhand, and I don't know. I don't know when, or where, or why. So I'm just going to put a book plate in there, and I can write about when I read it instead. And that'll do. What are you crying about? Don't start crying again. And that completes my collection of random books about Iceland that I apparently own. I'm just going to put these ones back on the shelf and get another selection. We're speeding through. What? What's wrong with you? What's on the floor? Alright, let's look at some Agatha Christie. This one's going to be a bit messy. And Sherlock Holmes. We've got through 2 shelves already. Hello again. What's wrong, honey bunch? What's wrong? Why are you crying? Why are you crying? So this, which you can't see yet, but I will hold it up, is my steadily growing collection of Agatha Christie novels, which one doesn't match. Which I'm sure we all know what that means, which is that it's pretty much dead to me, and I'll probably end up swapping it out for a vintage version at some point. But all of these ones I've been slowly collecting from secondhand bookshops and from book fairs and things whenever I spot them. Which is funny because I actually kind of hate these editions when you look at them from the front on. Like from the side, they're just, you know, vintage Christie novels. But then you look at the front and some of them are terrifying. I'll show you my least favorite one. I mean, this one's not great either. And then we also have this one. They're gross. But they're the collections that I have, so I'm just going to stick with it. I quite like what they look like from the side, at least from the spine. So now I have to figure out if I can remember where, when, and why I got any of these, which is not going to be easy. I think I have a vague memory that those two, maybe that one as well. I think these three I like inherited from my parents or from my mom or something. Like they got given to me to try Agatha Christie for the first time, and then since then I've just started collecting some more. And a lot of these I think I got from it was a book festival in regional Victoria, which is known, I think it's Clunes. Is it the Clunes Book Fair? Why am I asking you guys? You wouldn't know. You don't live in Victoria. I think it's the Clunes Book Fair. Is well known, which I went to a couple of years ago with now she's my housemate. At the time, she was the housemate of my boyfriend. I stole her. She's mine now. Yeah. Clunes Booktown. It happens every year. It's a town that literally it just turns itself into an annual book festival for one weekend every year. Although I don't think it's happened last year or this year because of COVID. But we went a couple of years ago. I think we went for the last one before COVID, which was really fun. So some of these were gifts and some of these were bought. I also think, in case anyone was interested, that this one was the first Agatha Christie novel that I ever read. I don't know how, I don't know why, but yeah. I'm not sure that it was necessarily the best Agatha Christie to start with, but there you go. I seem to remember going through a huge Agatha Christie phase when I was in year 12, which is, yeah. So I probably read it somewhere in 2011. I don't remember anything else about it because it's been too long. But there you go. These book plates are basically as big as the books themselves, which is kind of cute. And then these two I also definitely read in year 12, along with one that I don't own anymore. Or maybe I borrowed it from someone. Whoops. It's actually the one I want. That's all I can say about that one too. Do I have any? I feel like I could quite easily read these again and not remember anything about what happened because it's been so long. I have a vague, I think this one's a Miss Marple one. That's all I remember. Yes, that one's Miss Marple and the other two are Poirot. Fascinating. Maybe. Maybe it's fascinating. Maybe it's Maybelline. You're crying again. And then of the rest of them, I've read some of them. I don't remember which or when. Maybe I'll read them all again so that I can write better details. Please don't cry at me. It's early and I'm grumpy. I think this one's going to be a quick run shelf as well, just by virtue of the fact that I don't remember anything about these books, except that I have read them. I do remember this one making me think that I wasn't going to like Miss Marple novels. I was like, this isn't as fun. Give me Poirot. Poirot was better. And then I've also read those 3 and not any of the rest of them. And I'm pretty sure I also, well, I kind of bought all of them at the Queen's Book Fair. I don't know where I got these from. I feel like my review for these is just going to be, I don't know where I got it from, but I know that I read it. I remember this one being a bit odd, so that's all I'm going to write about it. There's really not a lot of details about these ones. These book plates definitely work better when I have a bit more of a connection with the book. A bit more of a sentimental vibe. This one is definitely my least favorite Poirot, so that's what I can write for it. I can't even give these on star ratings because it's been so long. I literally do not remember if I thought they were good or not. I would genuinely have to like start fresh with all of Agatha Christie in order to be able to rate any of these books. It says, don't even remember where I got it from, but I do know that I read it. Least favorite Poirot, 3 stars. Don't know. I don't know if it deserves 3 stars. It just feels approximately right. I did not know that she also wrote some romance novels. Good job, Agatha Christie. Okay, I know that I've read this one. I think. There's no way I'm going to remember just by looking through it. This one has a stamp in it already. Not mine. This book belongs to Squiggle. It's going to be very helpful for someone who finds this book and wants to return it to its original owner. That Squiggle. I know that I've read this one. I'm sure I have. Poisoning, Spice, Subversion. No, actually, I don't think I have. I think I just bought it. Well, I think we've finally stumbled along the ones that I bought at the Clunes book fair, which is nice. Do we remember when that would have been? I'm assuming 2019. Yeah, somewhere around then. Certainly wasn't 2020. It certainly wasn't 2021. All right. Oh, we've nearly done the stack. Only got a few left. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not even enough to finish all the Agatha Christie's. Good job, us. Well, I guess I'll just finish off these. I genuinely did not think we would get through the stack today for some reason. That's another one that I haven't read. Last one for now. All right, I'll put these few in. I might consider writing on some of the uncut ones. So we're on a roll. I kind of want to keep that going. Clearly, I need to have an Agatha Christie reading month again, I think. Got quite a few unread Agatha Christie's to get through, to consider. Oh man, some of these covers are so creepy. Look at this one. What the hell? Who designed these? They're horrifying. I guess that's the point. Anyway, that's the last one, and I actually don't have any book plates left. Well, I do. I don't have any cut book plates left. And I'm not going to put one in that one because I think I will see if I can find a vintage version to replace it with, even though the new versions are prettier. I've got to stick with what I know, and what I know is vintage versions. I'm going to get out a handful of uncut book plates and maybe just keep going. See? Look at us go. I think next time I go to print more of these, I might see if I can print them on sticker paper so that I don't have to cut them out like this. Because honestly, it's kind of annoying and tedious. I feel bad that all of these don't have much interesting in them. Literally all I'm writing over and over again is bought at the Clunes Book Fair. But I haven't read them, so I can't say anything else about them. Cool. The only other thing left on this shelf is from Mum and Dad, Christmas 2016. There you go. Thank you, past me. I wrote a little text note to myself down here in the corner, reminding me of where I got when I got that from. It's funny. Gift. Christmas present. Mum and Dad. And all 56 short stories with original illustrations from the Strand magazine. And I have not read it in its entirety, at least. Anyway, that's this shelf done. Good job, us. I can't stick them in the books anymore, so I'm going to have to like cut them out and go back and stick them in at a future date, but so be it. I'll put these ones back and grab another shelf. All right. This is where my carefully curated and organized bookshelf descends into chaos, because this shelf has everything, all of the things. Here we go. Is there anything else I can add to this pile? Nah, this is it. I don't even see you. There we go. So this pile includes, I don't know, just a lot of stuff. This one I know. I think this one already has one in it. Yep, that one already does. Some of these do. Some of them don't. That one doesn't. That one doesn't. Those ones definitely won't. Nope. Some of these were gifts, but the problem is I don't remember who. I know that was a gift. I know that this was a gift from Sarah. Oh, this one's already got one in there. Cool. All right, so there were 3 on this pile that already had book plates in them. And then, oops, wobbly, a bunch that don't. Yeah, well, this is why my shelf is in desperate need of reorganization, because we just get to a point where all of the books are just thrown together because I don't know what to do with them. This shelf is one of them. It just has all kinds of stuff. That's all I can say about that one. Need to figure out a better way of organizing some of this. Okay. I know that one wasn't a gift, but I don't remember why I bought it. Or when, or anything else about this book. This one I do remember. This one was an impulse buy. It's actually a really good book. Where were you published? 1996. This one is an underratedly good book, just in case anyone was interested. It surprised me. I found it to be a really good read. And the dog is off on a grand adventure. I don't know when I read this. It was in one of my first years of BookTube, like 2016 or 2017-ish. Not that it matters much. It's more interesting when I read it for a readathon than when I've just read it. Big yawn from the dog in the background. Still going through Goodreads, trying to remember when I read books. There it is. Oh, I reckon this must have been BookTubeathon as well. Something about the time of year. Something about the time of year makes me think that I read it for BookTubeathon. Oops. Four stars. I read that one with The Alchemist, apparently, and a few other books. This one was one of the first BookTube books that I ever read, and I got it from Ma for my 23rd birthday. Aww. I've got like 3 tabs in here, apparently, of quotes that I thought were interesting. Fascinating. I just like the sound of it. Yeah. I don't know why these particular quotes were so interesting, but I've just got like 3 sections that I've put little bunny stickers on. And because I read this book like 5-6 years ago, I don't remember why, I would have noted them. But that's fine. I mean, I would have got that in, I don't know, when I was 23, guys. 2016, apparently. That helps. Just gonna have a quick look at when I read it. Oh, yeah, 2017. Read in January. I seem to remember this being a very good read as well. My book reading has really changed since being on BookTube. I find my book habits. I think a lot more about what I read and what I'm going to read when. When I started BookTube, I just pick up a book and read it. Nowadays, I'm more likely to think about the month ahead and select a few books to read. Things like that. I think this one was also a present from Ma. Oh, Lord. There is a lot going on in this book. Oh, someone's done things in it. This is a second-hand edition, I assume. Actually, maybe it's not. Maybe that's printed. I've never opened this book before, but there's like poetry in it. Blackout poetry, whatever you call it. I'm like trying to figure out if that, I reckon that's printed on there. That's deliberate, right? Something about it makes it look like that's how the book was designed to be, I think. There's a lot of different, there's like lots of photos and bits and pieces in here as well. So it's like a multimedia book. So I am expecting that, yeah, see, there's, okay. That's all deliberate. Fascinating. For a moment, I thought that I'd accidentally bought a secondhand edition. And I was like, that's weird. I'm pretty sure I remember buying this from not a secondhand bookshop. Yes. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely the same for me. I just read. I never, like, I think before BookTube, I never really bought books for myself. I would just, like, people would give me books, and then I would just, like, when I felt like reading, I'd pick one of the books that was on my shelf that was a gift from family members or, friends of family members and things like that. And I never really thought about what I wanted to read, and went out of my way to find books that I would want to read until I started BookTube. And then I started actually thinking about what it is that I like and what do I want to buy for me and things like that. And yeah, so now I spend a lot more time thinking about, what mood I'm in and what I feel like reading, and am I in a fantasy mood and do I want to read a lot of fantasy books, or am I in a contemporary mood, or stuff like that. Am I in a romance mood? I'm always in a romance mood. Give me good romance books. I just think it's really interesting. It's almost like a coming of age story of my own to have sort of followed this journey of figuring out what I want to read through BookTube, which is really cool. Also, I hope the essay is going well wherever you are. Pretty sure this one was also a gift from my grandma. But this one I actually haven't read. The previous, it's Jonathan Safran Foer, isn't it? Yeah. Not read yet though. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to go through and cut all of these out myself in the future. That's fine. Oh, I didn't realize that had become a major motion picture, as the book likes to tell me on the front there. This book's looking a little bit damaged on the front, but here's one. It's one of the first books I actually bought for BookTube. That would have been for Diversathon in February-ish 2017. And I read it at that time as well. That was my first ever BookTube readathon that I participated in. Where is my phone? Oh, there's another one. I love thinking of it like that, a coming-of-age story for your reading life journey. Congratulations on finishing your essay and getting to the editing stage. That's very good effort, solid effort on the essay front. It should be harder. But yeah, I also never thought about it like that until this moment in this live stream, but that's definitely what it was. And I think it's really sweet to have your own little coming of age story. It wouldn't make a very good novel for anyone to read, but it's nice for me to think about now. It would have been, there it is, sort of 14th-ish of February. I can hear the dog crying in the background. He's abandoned me. He's now trying to annoy Catherine, my housemate, who was cooking breakfast, and he's crying at her, trying to convince her. Pretty sure he's trying to convince her to feed him bacon. It's not going to happen. This one has been bought but not read. I don't quite remember when, although I would be able to figure it out if I started being a detective on Instagram, because I think I took a photo of it at about the time when I bought it. Let's have a look. It won't be that long ago because I'm really bad at posting on Instagram. There it is, August 2020. That's it for that one. This one I'm 99% sure was a gift, but I don't remember who from. Can you hear the dog in the background? Lots of crying going on out there. Who gave this to me? Who did this? I think it might have been Sarah, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check with her. I can't write a booklet for that one because I know it was a gift, but I don't remember who from in the slightest. This one I stole off a friend of mine. Not really stole, but she was throwing it out, so I took it. And that would have been late last year, I think. November 20th. I don't really remember when. Let's just say the 20th. Just pick a random date. That's fine, right? Hello to some new viewers. I hope you're having a nice evening wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Okay, this one was an impulse buy from a secondhand something. I don't remember where. I might leave that one and think about it for a bit because I think I posted a video at around the time when I got it, and I kind of would like to remember when. It was either from a random little pop-up bookshop that happened at the hospital that I used to work at, or it was from a charity book swap thing that I attended that was organised by a Melbourne booktuber a few years ago. One of those two. And I would like to remember which. What? You're being very grumpy. You're like, hello, pay attention to me. Can you hop up again? Hop. Hop. Come up. Yes. Good boy. Hello. Now you say hi to all the, look, say hi to all the viewers. You don't care about the viewers. You just care about treats. I know. Yes. Come back. Hey, come here. Up. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Right. Off. You know this. Good boy. You gonna do another one? Up. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. You're so clever. Yes, you are. Off. Yes. Good boy. This little boy, who is not little at all, is very, very big, is going to turn 1 year old this month. Aren't you? In a few weeks? Yeah. I'm going to put these books back. Not all of them have been written about, but quite a few of them have. This really is just a chaos of, I really need to fix up this book collection. Like these ones. It's just random. It's just a random pile of books. None of them match. None of them have a theme. No, let's not chase the cat. Don't do it. Don't do it. Not you, not me, not the cat. None of us want this to happen. So my plan is once I finish going through and adding all of these book plates to my books, I will be able to think about which books belong in like collections together, on shelves together and things a bit more, because at the moment it's just a lot of them have just been thrown in together because I don't know, I just lost interest in organizing them properly. So you start off with organized shelves and then you just end up in chaos at the bottom, which we're going to fix up. That's what this whole project is about. All right, I think I will do this final stack of books and then we will call it a day because that will have been four shelves worth. 4 little, they're not very big shelves, but 4 shelves. I might also see if I can shut that door a little bit so the noise is less loud. Guarantee that Milo will come bounding through it as soon as I close it, but it's fine. So this is our next little shelf of books we're looking at. This one is an odd mix of, 3 hardcover books that I just think look pretty together, followed by just a bunch of contemporary-ish stuff. Contemporary/modern lit-ish, and then like one random historical book. This one doesn't actually belong with the rest of them. So that's definitely historical fiction. And yet here it is with everything else. Aww. Yeah, I really didn't get far through this. I know I've started reading this before and then I got distracted, but I've already started writing little notes and things, which is really cute. My favorite thing about this is that with this particular book, when I was reading it, I've actually written a little note here, up the top here, which says the date. Oi! It's barreling through that door. 2nd of the 5th, 2018, drinking rose black tea. So that's what I was doing when I read that particular chapter. I think it's kind of cute. Maybe I should start doing that again. I have to go shut the door again. The dog keeps bashing his way through like Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, just and letting all of the cold air in as well. I have a feeling that I got this one as a gift as well, but I don't remember. Oh, look, this one still has a bookmark in it from the last time I tried to read it. And then I got distracted. So I'm going to leave that one for now. I will annotate these. This is a fun little selection that I've got here. But, dude, pick your spot. Are you going to stay in here? I'm going to stay here. Well, I'm going to shut the door then because it's cold, man. It's cold. Stay with me now. You're stuck in the lounge room. A lot of these are recent purchases. Oi, oi, oi. Some of them. I'm pretty sure I've already written in some of these, haven't I? Yep. Added to my Goodreads collection. Have I written in all of these? Yep. Cool. No, not all of them. That one hasn't been done. This one also hasn't been done. It's just a very odd mix of ones that have been written in and ones that haven't. I think it's just those 3 actually. There we go. These 3 have already been done because I bought them recently, and I think I was actually being well behaved and writing in my book plates as I bought books rather than letting them turn into a backlog of unwritten books. This one, this is just The Life of Pi. I think what happened with this is that I read it from my parents' shelf when I was staying with them, and then I bought it when I came back to Melbourne. I think that's what happened. I think I bought this like secondhand because I'd already read it and was like, I just want to own it as well. But I could be wrong. And I also don't remember when. I think that everything that happened before BookTube, I don't remember when I read it. I basically only remember when I read books after joining BookTube. Everything else is like, it's like the whole BC AD thing. Like there's a time where I pay attention to stuff, and then everything else is just before, just in the past, at some point in the past. Anyway. I know it doesn't really matter whether I get this stuff right or not, but I just really like thinking about it as well. God, my handwriting is terrible as well. Do I remember when I read this and whether I liked it? That's the real question. Surely it'll be marked here somewhere. Here, my nose is itchy as well. I don't think I will have marked this one properly. I think this is just going to be a chaos of books. Everything before BookTube is just thrown in together. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't say. Red. at some point in the past. That's fine. That's another one done. This one, it's a very... Oh, hi. I'm assuming social dist is like a social distance greeting, like social distance hug or something, or wave. How am I today? I'm doing okay. I got out of bed, I put some clothes on, and I sat down in front of a camera, and that's all I've done so far. But it's been good. It's got me out of bed at least. I mean, without this, there's nothing to do. I've done it all. This is the problem with having been in lockdown so many times, is that I've already done everything that I could have wanted to do during a lockdown in the previous lockdowns. Yeah, I can't see that. I can't see it, unfortunately, but that's okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm definitely, every lockdown that goes by, I just get a little bit more, not bummed out. That's not the right word. I guess despondent is kind of closest to it, because it's just like I've run out of stuff to do. I've run out of projects to do and, things to focus on while I'm staying at home. So yeah, I definitely feel myself getting more and more bored and just sort of done with it every time we get told that we have to stay at home. And I mean, I find stuff to do anyway. I've got a dog to hang out with and I've got books to read and things, but you just kind of, yeah, you know what it's like. It's like a different kind of boredom. It's like a deeper boredom. But this has been nice. This helps. Sorry about the camera wobbles. Every time I touch the table, which the camera is sitting on, everything shakes. But yeah, live streaming has helped. You guys have been really lovely to talk to. I'll double check if I'm subscribed to everyone as well. Anyway, how are you guys going? How are you going? Having a nice weekend? I'm assuming it'll be evening wherever you are. It's evening for everyone except me. Existential boredom. It's not like day-to-day boredom. It's like, it's existential. It's deep boredom. That's definitely what I'm feeling. And I know I'm not alone in that either. I think everyone in Victoria is feeling that right now. And I'm sure people elsewhere in the world are struggling with similar things, because we're all going through this together. Anyway, I'm going to go back to writing about this book while I wait for any responses. This one is another one that I read for Booktubeathon and bought for Booktubeathon as well, if I remember correctly. Which would have been a while ago. There it is. July 2017, my first ever Booktubeathon. Growing more accustomed to the shut-in lifestyle, begrudgingly. Yeah. I totally sympathize with that. Like, the weird part is that for me, being in lockdown isn't any different really to being out of lockdown, because my workplace shifted to working from home as soon as the first lockdown happened last year. So March-ish last year, we all started working from home, and we've never gone back again to working from the office. We've been working from home the whole time. So I've got an office set up in my bedroom, which makes for some really good, living habits of going straight from bed to work and back again. So like being in and out of lockdown doesn't change my weekly life very much at all. I'm already working from home and not leaving the house a lot. The only thing that really changes is being able to see friends on weekends, on days like today. So yeah, also my hair is doing something weird back here. Look at this. What's that about? I don't know. The joys of short hair. It's not living its best life. But yeah, I think we're all getting used to a whole new lifestyle that we never expected to be in, aren't we? Anyway, I'm just going to take a brief moment to write down some stuff about The Alchemist before I forget. This one is one of those books that I definitely think was overrated. I don't know what people see in it. I certainly don't see whatever everyone else sees in it. That's fine. People are allowed to like things that I don't like, I guess. What are 7s in the date related to this review? A little more claustrophobic, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, all the introverts who never left the house anyway are still crying over not being able to leave the house. A little bit more claustrophobic, yeah. It's definitely hard not being able to see friends. I'm assuming you're talking about The Alchemist there. But yes, I definitely think it was overrated. Felt a bit... I think I remember recently I saw someone on Instagram review this book and they talked about it as being like the novel form of Live, Laugh, Love, like the motivational, not even a quote. And honestly, that's definitely, as soon as I read that, I was like, yeah, that's it. That's what it feels like. It feels like the novel version of Live, Laugh, Love. It's just very sort of pop psychology sentiments that I just I can't get behind. That's okay, because I read this like 5 years ago and I don't have to read it again if I don't want to. So there you go. I did have a good time reading it though, mainly because of the fact that it was my first ever booktubeathon that I was ever part of. So I was doing lots of reading sprints and felt very connected to the book community and stuff, and made for a very fun reading experience, even though I didn't like the book itself. And for BTAT 17, my first ever booktubeathon. There we go. And I can't stick this in yet because all of these are just sitting on a piece of paper waiting for me to organize them properly. But that's what I'm working on over here. Also, the webcam really doesn't like the white balance change whenever I lift up those bits of paper. It has a mini heart attack. I think it's also worth noting that I'm pretty sure this book here is the book that inspired me to make these book plates in the first place. Which is kind of weird because I've never even finished that book, but I started reading it and something about it inspired me to make the book plates that I'm putting in all of these other books. This one was a present. I said present really weirdly just now. That would have been Christmas last year. Sorry, I'm getting distracted from conversations and just writing in books for a while instead. Hopefully that's okay. This is going to be fun because I'm writing all of these now, but I can't put them in the books now, which means that the next time I sit down to do my organization, we're going to have to play the treasure hunt game where I go through all of these book plates and try and find the books again so that I can actually finally put them together. It's going to be treasure hunt time before the coffee gets cold. I bought this one at Easter, I think. Man, I'm getting hungry. I think after I finish this handful of books, I'm going to have to love you and leave you so that I can go and eat some food. Actually have a late breakfast, finally. That's another thing that is sad about lockdown. Most of my life hasn't changed, but not being able to go out for brunch on weekends is really, it's probably the worst part. I am a big brunch addict, and I think every weekend I usually try and go out and go to a cafe so I can sit and have coffee for a bit and have some breakfast. I'll have to do a homemade brunch today, and I'll probably do something fancy just to make it feel a bit better. So I guess either bacon and eggs, maybe French toast, one of those two. Depends if I'm in a sweet or savory mood, which I haven't decided yet. That'll be decided when I walk into the kitchen, I think. Anyway. I'm just gonna fix this up as well. My hair's being weird. Also, you guys should be proud of me. I actually got dressed just to be on camera. There's no other reason for me to be getting dressed today. It was just so that I could sit in front of a camera and talk to you. Hey, darling. What did I do? I bought at Easter on a day spent browsing bookshops with family. And Amy. I think I got it from Jeffrey's. Not that it really matters. Jeffrey's is my favorite bookshop in Melbourne, just in case anyone was interested. That would have been the Saturday of Easter. When was Easter, guys? I don't remember. Was that April? Must have been April-ish. There it is, Saturday the 3rd of April. Cool, 3 left. These final 3 books, and then I'm going to go and make some breakfast. But you guys have been wonderful company throughout this. And it's been a much more productive session than last time I did this, the last live stream. Last time I think we only got through like 1 shelf. This time we've got through like 4. That's so much better. Anyway, I can see a couple more people have joined, briefly at least. So hello to the new viewers who have joined me. All right, what have we got left? Apparently I have a signed copy of this book by an author that I've never even heard of. I mean, I have heard of, but like I haven't met him, or anything. I just happen to have a signed copy. Don't cry. Don't cry. This one actually already has a book plate in it. I haven't stuck it down yet, so that's interesting. These 2 do not. Okay, so we actually only have 2 left. And also, thank you. We're getting there. I reckon after this one, we might have 1 or 2 more sessions of actually putting book plates in books, and then we can actually rearrange them and make some book collections and things together. So we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Give it a few more weeks and I will actually have all of my books will have book plates in them. So that's exciting. Anyway, I'm getting distracted again. Both of these are books that I bought. And I bought them at the same time on the same trip to Canberra. These 2. And these are just, there's a certain selection of books on my shelf that he's he's really trying to get my attention right now. I feel so mean for laughing, but it's because I know he's not actually sad. He's just doing it to get my attention. It's kind of funny. He does this when I start filming like actual videos for YouTube as well. I don't think he likes me talking like to no one, like when I'm talking and he can't see who I'm talking to, and knowing that it's not him, he gets really It's really antsy and very attention-seeking. Don't you, bub? Hi. You want some attention? You want to come up here again? Oh boy, do you? Come up. Up. Hello. Good boy. Hello. Yeah, hi. No, don't put your paws all over me. Say hi to the camera. Look. Look at this. No? You just want to cheese. Good boy. Bye. Oh, you make the whole floor shake when you do that. Don't sniff my books. Don't lick them. We'll go outside and play after this, yeah? We finish the live stream, we have breakfast, and then we'll go outside and play ball. Yeah, that's right. You know those words. He does his little head tilt every time he hears a word that he understands. Don't ya? Don't ya? You're a big fluff monster. Thank you. Yes, he is. Thank you. That's very kind. I obviously think he's beautiful. And yes, he is also a big pupper. He's a German Shepherd cross Labrador. So lots of people think that he's like a Maremma or like a Swiss Shepherd or anything like that. Oh, floor. Yeah, no, we have floor quakes constantly. His feet are as big as my hands are. Like, he's huge. He's a huge dog. But he's also, like I said just before, he's not even one yet. He's not even 1 year old yet. So he's still very much a baby and very much a puppy. So all he wants to do is zoomies and big bouncy play sessions and things like that. And it's like, if you do that, you're going to kill us. You're too big. Like, you got to settle down. 2-year-old dog that is 12 pounds total. Excuse me while I try and figure out what that is in kilos, because I'm not au fait with pounds, but I'm going to Google it. In kilos. 5 kilos. Wow. That's like a quarter? An eighth? 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, it's like just over an eighth of Milo's size. Milo is 35 kilos. Yeah, him big. There's no other way of putting it. 77 pounds apparently is how big Milo is. Yeah, big difference. He's very much a gentle giant though, which is nice. Like, he is very sweet, very good-natured, very obliging. I think it's the Labrador in him. He just, he puts up with a lot. We have a cat in the house who doesn't like him very much, so there's a lot of bapping and scratching from the cat, and Milo was just like, okay, this is how you want to interact with me. I guess I'll let you interact with me like this, which is very sweet. Very sweet to see. I'm trying to remember when I went to Canberra. Would have been 2018 or 2019. I don't remember. I'm just going to have to write down a random thing for now. Trying to finish off these final 2 books still. Bookshop. Anyway, I think I got very much distracted, but I was saying that these 2 books are books that I bought for no other reason than that I thought they looked pretty. I don't know the author. I don't know the content of the books. I don't know what genre they are. I don't know anything about them except that they were matching and they were by the same author and they looked nice. So now they're on my shelves. So I'll have to read them one day just to find out what they're about. Bought from a secondhand bookshop, as usual. A weekend trip to visit Sarah in Canberra. that's it. That's all I can say about them because I don't remember the dates, but that's my final sheet for today of book plates. That's what they're called. So we did about 30 already cut ones and another 16 book plates that haven't been cut yet. And that's it for this particular shelf of books, which definitely needs reorganizing because this is just, I think the general theme of this shelf is books that are kind of orange at the moment. It's not necessarily the most useful of, you know, categories to organize your bookshelves by, but yeah, we've got books that are kind of orange-ish, which should probably be, yeah, organized into something slightly better, slightly more useful for me to follow. Anyway, I think that's it for today. So yeah, like I said, I think I've got a couple more of these. We'll do a couple more if people are still interested in hanging out and chatting with me while I organize my books. And then I'll do a big bookshelf rearranging session as well. I'll do a live stream for that too. And at some point between now and then, I'm going to have to figure out how I actually want to arrange my shelves. Because I think I'm bored of organizing them by genre, and I definitely don't want to organize them by books that kind of look the same and are therefore sitting beside each other. So I'll have to figure out some other things to do. Oh, you're still grumbling, are you? Well, that's fun. I've also noticed that more people are joining now that I'm about to end this live stream, which is a bit unfortunate. But also makes me wonder, is this a better time for people? Like now, 11:30ish, is that a better time than 9:30ish, which is when I started? Color code them. That's why I still have some books that are kind of in random piles, like this shelf that's kind of orangish. I think it's because I did color code them for a while. I kind of want to do something more fun than that. I want to do something more like, you may not have been here when I was looking at, but I have like a random selection of books that all happen to be set in Iceland. So I kind of want to do some categories that are like that. Like just, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But feel free to cast your votes on what you think I should do. Have any suggestions? This is a better time for, I know that is a suburb shortening, not suburb, state shortening, but I don't know what it is. My gut instinct is New Amsterdam, but New Arizona. Is that right? I don't know. Anyway, I'm happy to rearrange the start time for this to be a bit later. I think our lives, North America. Okay. Okay, you tried. Just general North America, all of North America at once. Yeah, that's fair. I think this is a time that we used to use for my book club. Was 11:30ish was the start time. So I'm more than happy to switch to 11:30 from now on. That works better for me anyway. So next time we do this, maybe I'll start at 11ish or something. My time. Whatever time that is for you guys, I don't know. Anyway, he's still grumbling. I'm going to go and eat some breakfast because it's not nighttime here. And I'm going to go and give some love and attention to this very grumbly dog behind me. I hope you guys have a nice evening. Stay safe and sane, and I will see you tomorrow if you want to come and join and say hi again tomorrow, because I'll be doing some more live streams tomorrow because there's nothing else to do because I'm in lockdown. But yeah, thanks for joining, everyone.